Okay, so empty arrays. First off, we need to cover what an array is. So, an array, you can think of it as like a tray of cups. It is a type of data structure, and an array is an object. All right, an array is an object. Arrays are very applicable when you want quick, ordered, and efficient list of things. So arrays provide random access to the user through index positions to get elements in the array that are stored in that position. Okay, so every element in an array is a variable, and always it's one of the 8 primitive variables. However, you can also use reference variables, and these reference variables, they don't hold objects, they just hold pointers to objects to guide towards the object. But yes, you can do object-based arrays. They're not too complicated. We'll cover later. So yeah, um, yeah. Let's see. So basically, you want to match the type of the array with what you plan to store. So an integer variable array type will store integer variables, and object arrays they use in integer variable types, but not to hold objects, rather to index to guide, like store the pointers. All right, cool. So empty array. So basically what you want to do is declare an integer array variable. An array variable serves as the pointer, the guide towards stuff. So yeah, it's done right here. And then you want to create a new integer array with a length of 7, which is done by this part of the code, which is connected with the equal assignment operator, single equal sign. Alright. So you create the new integer array with length of 7 and assign it to the previously declared integer array variable. So you have an integer array by the two bracket symbols right here, so that's the symbolized, and the variable name is nums. Alright, awesome. Here we do this on separate 2 lines, just for ease of visualization. However, you can do the same thing on the same line, like this, to create an integer array variable called nums, and then you create a new integer-based array with the size of 5 here, or in this case 7 on this line, and you combine them with the singular assignment operator invested by an equal sign. So inside the array, you will store type that matches the array type. This is done by declaring the name of the integer array variable type, in this case nums, and with nums, there actually is 7 nums you have, which are represented by its index position. So we have a size index of 7, so we have 7 indexes to utilize. Okay, so here we utilize 6 of those, right? Because we could use 7 if we add a 0 index position. Remember, you'll never actually have an index which matches the number of the size, because Java starts at coding, well, general programming starts at 0. Okay, so you'll do nums brackets 0 for that position 0. You give it a value 40. Okay, very good. And don't forget your semicolons. Alright, so now what can you do with this? Well, you can do System.out.println message and print a value stored at an index position in the array. So we're going to print out the position 0, right? The code for that is here. And if we see here, the first thing that we get in our terminal is 40, the number, at the 0 index position, okay? So yeah, you just do System.out.println message, and you put the name of the array variable, nums, and then the index position with the brackets, yeah. Okay, so enhanced for loop. So enhanced for loop, let's see. Basically, it allows you to have an easy way to iterate through all the elements stored in the array, or like other types of collections. So remember, the elements in the array they have to be compatible with the declared variable type. So an integer variable must be with a integer array. So the type is integer. Alright, so name. Name is the iteration variable that will hold the element at a given point in time. One of these numbers are stored at index positions. We just make an integer name, right? It'll be our iteration variable, and we use the in operator to go into the nums array, right? Integer array type nums is the name of it, and we go into that because it's made here, and then remember we go into it using our nums. Our colon. We go into nums array. So yeah, there's a little note on that here. And then now that we're in there, we can have our body of our for loop and print out whatever we want. In this case, we're gonna print out the actual the name integer is storing at a given point in time, which will be one of these numbers. You can see those are all printed down here, right? They're given to us here. And I didn't cover this part, the length method. So the length method comes with arrays, and you access with the dot operator onto the array object, because objects have methods. So nums is the actual array, the instance of it. It's called nums. It's an object. So we will call the .length method on it, and that gives you this 7 found here. And yeah, that provides you the length of the array, the size. So you actually have this down here again, but yeah. So yeah, just remember this information, and then you could also use this basic if test to see if the array is filled or empty. So in this case, we'll use the not equals operator, 0. Could use equals, set it to 0, and then change print message to array is empty. We'll use not equals 0 because our array is not equal to 0. And we'll print the message array is not empty, but you could always change that around, and that is showing here array is not empty, works. And yeah, so that's about it.